After turning 60, every little movement or even the lack of it can affect your heart. You might think you're doing the right thing exercising every day, breaking a sweat to stay in shape, or stay healthy like you used to. But there's something no one warned you about. Those familiar workouts might actually be silently weakening your heart. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying this as a doctor who's treated hundreds of seniors people who walked into the clinic looking calm. Yet inside they were dealing with high blood pressure, irregular heartbeats, and signs of heart overload without even knowing it. And more often than not, the problem wasn't a lack of exercise or poor diet. It was exercising the wrong way, wrong intensity, wrong timing. The saddest part is they had no idea they were doing it wrong. They did it because they believed it was right. And that's exactly why I made this video. I want to help you avoid specific types of workouts routines. I've seen countless people over 60 repeat daily, and they're draining your heart slowly but surely. But I'm not just here to tell you what to avoid. I'll also show you the right alternatives, heart-healthy exercises that truly strengthen your heart. Not push it to the point of collapse. And the first mistake might be something you already did this morning. Misconception number 1. The harder you train, the longer you'll live. There's a common belief, the more intense the workout, the more you sweat, the healthier you are. Many older adults hit the gym or follow HIIT workouts on YouTube, thinking they're fighting off aging with sheer endurance. What they don't realize is the heart after 60 isn't the same as it was at 30. It's more fragile, slower to react, and especially vulnerable to sudden bursts of exertion. High-intensity routines like HIIT burpees or sprint intervals force the heart rate to spike in a very short amount of time. For younger people, that might boost stamina. But for seniors, it's like pushing an old engine to max power seconds after starting it. I've seen far too many patients come in saying they just feel more tired than usual after a few intense sessions. And after checking their EKG and pulse pressure, we found their hearts were straining, not getting stronger, but just trying to keep up. The danger. The damage doesn't show up right away. You might just feel a little dizzy or short of breath and chalk it up to getting older. But deep down, your heart is waving a red flag, early warning signs of a heart attack. You don't need to stop exercising. You just need to change the way you move. Gentle workouts like light walking, Tai Chi, slow swimming, or deep breathing exercises don't shock your heart. They help your blood flow, lower blood pressure, and keep your heartbeat steady without triggering heart attack symptoms. After 60. Health isn't about intensity, it's about consistency. It's not about pushing your limits. True strength is knowing when to pull back so your heart can last longer. Misconception number 2. If a workout worked before, it still works now. One common mistake I often see is this: many older adults stick to exercises that used to keep them fit at 40, believing that if it worked back then, it must still be good now. I once met a woman in her 70s who held a 2-minute plank every day, twisted into deep stretches, and did deep squats. She trained consistently. It was second nature to her. That's why she didn't think her recent dizziness after working out had anything to do with it. But the truth is, your body after 60 just isn't the same. Your joints are drier, your arteries less elastic, and your heart has lost some of its ability to adapt under pressure. A routine that once made you feel great might now be the reason behind heart overload, balance issues, or reduced blood flow to the brain. I remember an elderly man who got lightheaded after doing sit-ups, something he had done every morning for the past 20 years. What he said stuck with me. But I haven't changed anything. I've always worked out like this. And that's the problem. Your body has changed, but your workout hasn't. And clinging to old muscle memory might be exactly what's putting you at risk. So what should you do? You don't need to stop exercising. You just need to pause and reassess your body as it is today. Once a year, check your physical condition, joint flexibility. Resting heart rate. How quickly your heart rate recovers after exercise and your energy level post-workout. If a workout that used to leave you feeling energized now makes you tired faster, throws off your balance, or causes mild headaches afterward, that's not something to just push through. It's your body signaling that something needs to change, not something to ignore. Choose exercises that suit your body now, not who you were decades ago. Gentle, controlled movements that flow with your breath like light. Yoga, slow stretching, or balance training using a chair are your way of telling your heart, I still love you, but now I love you in a safer way. Misconception number 3. Right exercise. Wrong timing. Many older adults maintain a consistent workout routine every day, which is truly commendable. But there's one detail that almost no one pays attention to when you exercise is just as important as how you exercise. I once treated a 70-year-old man who got dizzy right after a midday walk. It wasn't that he overexerted himself, and the exercise wasn't too intense. The reason was simple. He picked the wrong time when outdoor temperatures were high. His body dehydrated quickly, and his cardiovascular system had to work overtime to compensate. Others exercise right after dinner, or even close to bedtime. They think, as long as I work out, it doesn't matter when. But the human body doesn't function like a light switch. You can flip anytime. After 7 p.m., your nervous system starts shifting into rest mode. If you force your heart to work when it's supposed to be recovering, you're not just disrupting your sleep. You're unknowingly triggering irregular heartbeat, blood pressure, fluctuation, and even early heart attack warning signs. I've heard from many patients who say they feel energized after evening workouts, but then they struggle to fall asleep, wake up startled in the middle of the night, or feel more exhausted in the morning than the night before. And they never suspect that the late-night workout is to blame. Exercise is a powerful form of medicine. But like any medicine, it only works when taken at the right time. For people over 60, morning is the golden hour for physical activity. Your biological rhythm is stable, the air is fresh, and your circulatory system hasn't been overly stimulated yet. If morning isn't possible, try early afternoon after digestion, but before fatigue sets in. And at night, let your body rest. Some deep breathing, a few gentle stretches, or a slow walk around your yard is more than enough. Don't turn your recovery hours into heart-pushing hours. Because daytime is for movement, but nighttime is when your heart heals. And if you don't give it that chance to recover, it won't have the strength to carry you through the next day. Misconception number 4. No pain means no problem. What causes many people to be complacent is this: they don't feel any pain. They can still walk, go about their day, and believe that only sharp chest pain, breathlessness, or collapsing means something is wrong with the heart. But after 60, the heart doesn't always send out alarms through pain. Instead, it often chooses silence. I once examined a man in his 70s. He didn't report any pain, just casually mentioned that climbing stairs had felt a bit harder lately. He said it like it was nothing. Must be age, doc. But after checking his blood pressure, running an ECG, and doing a stress test, we found his heart was working much harder than it should. And that was not okay. It's the same with people who've fainted slightly while bending over to tie their shoes. Felt dizzy after turning quickly, or woken up at night with an irregular heartbeat. They all assumed it was just part of getting old, until the tests revealed over 70% coronary artery blockage or irregular rhythms throughout the night. What haunts me most is how many people have said the exact same thing. I thought if there was no pain, it meant I was fine. But when your heart is already exhausted, that assumption can come far too late. We don't need to panic over every small change. But we do need to be more aware of unfamiliar signals. If you often feel short of breath during a slow walk, unusually tired after light chores, or off balance when standing up, don't brush it off. That could be your heart speaking its own language, not loud, not obvious, but very real. Pay attention. Get regular checkups. And if something deep down tells you, "This doesn't feel like it used to," chances are you're right. Because the heart doesn't need you to hear it scream. It just hopes you'll listen when it whispers. Misconception number 5. Exercising is enough, no need to track anything. Many older adults take their workout seriously. They walk 3 laps around the park every morning. They cycle for 30 minutes every evening without fail. They believe I'm staying active, I don't feel too tired, so I must be fine. But what they don't realize is that some things happening inside the body can't be felt. You can't see your blood pressure rising. You can't sense your heart slipping into an irregular rhythm while you still feel okay. I once treated a 76-year-old man who hadn't missed a single morning walk in 10 years. He kept his routine, ate well, and believed he had nothing to worry about. Until one day, he felt dizzy after walking and his son rushed him to the hospital. The results: an unusually high resting heart rate and unstable blood pressure fluctuation. His heart was still functioning, but had been wearing down silently for months. Exercise is great. But after 60, exercise alone isn't enough. Your body needs to be monitored not because you're weak, but because it deserves better care. We live in a time where a small blood pressure monitor or a wearable heart rate tracker can tell you every morning how your heart is doing. You don't need to check every hour. But if you check 2 or 3 times a week, you'll gain an honest picture of your heart's condition, and more importantly, you'll catch changes before they turn into problems. Don't wait until you feel dizzy, exhausted, or faint to get checked. Don't wait until your heart begs for help before you listen. Numbers don't lie, and sometimes they save your life simply because you paid attention in time. Working out is great, but knowing the condition you're working out in, that's what helps you live longer and live stronger. If you've read this far, I know you care. Not just about living long, but about living well, living fully, and living healthy every single day. I've sat beside hundreds of older adults, people who were once strong, sharp, and full of joy until one small habit, one seemingly harmless decision went everything. They all said the same sentence that he'll never forget. "I didn't think it was that serious." That's the sentence that made me speak up. After 60, even the smallest things can become serious because by now, your heart has carried decades of life beaten hundreds of thousands of times without rest and held millions of emotions you never even noticed. You don't need to train like you're 30. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. All you need is awareness, gentleness, consistency, and patience with yourself. There are no medals for pushing yourself to exhaustion. The real reward is quiet waking up each morning with a steady heartbeat, a clear mind, and a body strong enough to embrace another day. Forget promises like stronger than ever or young again. True strength is knowing when to pause. It's choosing to slow down so you can go further. Choose a way of living that helps your heart recover, not strain. Breathe deeply. Walk consistently. Sleep enough, and remember your heart doesn't ask for much, but it gives you everything. You're not too old to change, and it's never too late to start caring for your heart. Every gentle choice you make, from picking the right senior-friendly workout to taking a deep breath before bed, is a shield for your future. Don't let anyone rush you to run faster, lift heavier, or feel young again. You don't need that. You need to live fully at your own rhythm, slow, steady, and peaceful. Choose the kind of life that makes your heart feel loved, not pressured. Because being healthy isn't measured in sweat. It's measured in quiet persistence, not in applause, but in waking up each morning and knowing, today my heart is still beating strong. Now I'd love to hear from you. Was there one small thing in this message that made you pause and reflect? Drop a 1 in the comments if you're ready to make a change. Or 0 if you're still unsure. I know how I can better support you. And if this message could help a friend or loved one, don't hesitate to share it. Because sometimes one gentle reminder can save a heart.